So today's lesson we are going to look at pure love. Pure love. Love is the foundation of ministry. Jesus' grace is greater than our failure. Jesus' grace is greater than our failure. Why did I have to say that? Peter was a very bold disciple of Jesus Christ. He was one who was the right hand of Jesus. But somehow in his journey with the Lord, during the trial of Jesus Christ, Peter denied Jesus. It was not intentional, even though it was already being prophesied that he was going to deny Jesus Christ 3 times, and the third time, the cock will crow. So Peter didn't believe that he could actually deny Jesus, but he did deny Jesus. And so we are going to look at Jesus restoring Peter through his divine love. Jesus restoring Peter back to the position of discipleship, of being a shepherd who is to feed his sheep. And so the story of Peter is actually the story of love, restoration, and of grace. So Jesus Christ restoring Peter through his love brought a recommissioning of Peter back to the position of a discipleship. And so in this lesson, we are going to look at Peter's failure. Then we will look at the restoration, Peter's restoration, and also the reaffirmation, the recommissioning of Peter's calling. And so now let's look at Peter's failure. Now, for every disciple, somehow in your journey of life, in the journey of faith, sometimes you may have denied Jesus. It could be in your place of work. It could be concerning that health. It could be that in your business, in your home, and you have denied Jesus. It is not actually intentional. You didn't intend to actually deny Jesus in that sin that you fell into, in that failure that seems to have overwhelmed you. Not that you just decided to do that, but it came as a result of fear. This is something that you have not actually planned for. But Jesus Christ is right there for you to restore you back through his love. So now let's look at Peter's restoration. Peter was the right hand of Jesus, one who loved Jesus, one who was so bold and so outspoken. Jesus actually depended on him to carry the ministry work after him. So it is like Peter was the successor. That's where I will put it. Peter is actually was the successor of Jesus being able to feed the sheep. You know, Jesus Christ is the shepherd. He is our shepherd. He knows the pasture that we need, and he leads us into our pasture that we may be fed. Jesus Christ telling Peter that he is another shepherd, one who is to take care of sheep. It was an indication that Peter, even though he failed at a certain time in his life, that doesn't make him lose his place of his calling. That doesn't make him lose the presence of God. That doesn't make him lose that which the Lord holds for him in his future. And so Jesus Christ came after his resurrection just to restore Peter back to his love. And so now let's look at the restoration. Remember, Peter actually denied Jesus Christ 3 times. And so Jesus also gave Peter 3 good opportunities to reaffirm his love again for him. And how did he do that? Jesus Christ actually saw Peter again after the crucifixion. Peter felt that he was no longer worthy to be counted among the disciples of Jesus because he has not denied him. And so he has already rejected himself. He has already turned his back. He has already felt he's no longer worthy to be counted among the disciples of Jesus. And Peter went back to fishing. Peter went back to fishing, the same fishing that Christ told him that he was going to make him the fishers of men. But because of his failure, because he looked down on himself, that how could he have fallen like this? And so he went back to the same thing that he was doing before he met Christ. That's why sometimes you have come to the knowledge of Christ, and somehow you fell. And instead of you to come back to the Lord again for restoration, some of you will go deeper, deeper, deeper in your sin. Peter went back to his life. Peter went back to fishing. And Jesus Christ came to him because the calling was more than just that fish. The calling was more than fish that you will eat. The calling for him was restoring the souls of men from destruction, restoring the souls of men from the sea of destruction, from the pool of sin. That was his calling. But he felt that he was unworthy. And Jesus came back to him and asked him and said, Peter, son of Jonah, or Peter, son of John, do you love me more than this? Do you love me more than these fishes that you are coming to fish? Do you love me more than this lifestyle that you are living? Do you love me more than this? Jesus Christ asked Peter, do you love me more than this? And Peter, looking at Jesus, he said, Lord, you know I love you. And Jesus told him, then feed my lamb. And Jesus Christ looked at him again and said, Peter, son of John, do you love me more than this? And Peter responded the second time, yes, Lord, you know I love you. The third time, now, the expression of Jesus Christ asking Peter, do you love me more than this? That love that was used, that Jesus Christ used the first and the second time, is actually agape. That is a God kind of love. Agape, Jesus Christ was saying, Peter, agape mean more than this? And Peter responded with philia, which is brotherly love. And he said, Lord, you know I love you. Filial love, brotherly love. Jesus Christ asked him, divinely love. But Peter was responding, the love of man, brotherly love. The second time. The third time, Jesus had to come down to his level. At this moment, he no longer use the divine love as a language for him, because it seems at that moment it was too far, it was not aligning with his own language. And so Jesus Christ now asked him in his own language that he understands, the one that is using to reply him, and said, do you philia me more than this? And Peter responded, "Oh, Lord, you know everything. You know I love you." And Jesus Christ said, "Then feed my sheep." The first one is feed my lamb. The second instruction is tend my sheep. The third instruction is feed my sheep. So Peter was responding according to the brotherly love, but Jesus was talking to him according to divine love. See, but Jesus have to come down to his level. See, Jesus Christ understands us too much that he allows us to grow gradually in our walk with him. Now he is so patient that he allowed Peter to take his first baby step and was patiently holding his hand to take that baby step. And so through the baby step of Peter, through your baby step in your faith, that little faith that you are holding with God, that little faith you hold with Jesus, Jesus Christ will hold your hand to take your baby step. So Jesus Christ does not rush us in our faith. Hallelujah. Jesus does not rush us through our trust, teaching us to trust Him. He allows us to grow from stages to stages, because you cannot jump from one stage to 100 stage. Because